and Music with your host, Tony Bird.
Tony B is here. I think I'm got my microphone all ready to go, but I am here and I am ready to talk some good music today on episode 102. Can't believe we have making it through this January, which is not my favorite month, but you know what always makes January just a little bit better? Some good music and some excellent tunes, which we have to share with you today. Tunes of all different sorts and varieties. And earlier I was in a restaurant and I heard some the table next to me. I think the mean age was 15, and they were singing some Paula Abdul. Did not have that on my bingo card today, but that is what's cool about this show and music. You just never know what's going to pop up. So let's start seeing what we have had happen and what in the meantime, what we're looking at for the rest of this show, which is going to be just a lot of good in-depth tunes and a lot of interesting just overall conversation. So sadly, though, it always has to sometimes start sadly. The amazing Sam Moore, okay, from Sam and Dave, sadly passed away on January 10th. Sam and Dave, if you have not had the opportunity to hear any of their music, at the very least, you probably have heard Soul Man, which is just a really great song that has been just done excellently by the Blues Brothers, of course. But Sam has worked with just so many artists, from Conway Twitty and Bruce Springsteen to Lou Reed and Phil Collins. It's sad. I mean, Sam Moore was 89, but again, the way time works and the way time moves, you don't ever really expect to lose somebody of Sam's caliber, especially when thinking of all of Sam and Dave's great music. Dave Prater, I mean, you say to yourself, how long time has gone, passed away in 1988. And it's crazy to really think about that. 1988. That's like a lifetime ago that his partner in crime passed away. So hopefully they are reunited and they are singing those great songs together, because taking some time out, hearing of the passing and going through some of Sam and Dave's better known albums. Really excellent album is the Hold On I'm Coming album, which was their debut album, that was on the Stax label, which honestly, Stax, it really stacked up. But according to Steve Cropper, who was the lead guitarist for Booker T and the MGs, really interesting that it was the men's restroom, I guess, in this theater turned studio, was used to produce the reverb and the echo that you hear in some of these tracks, which is huge. It's a 32-minute album, starting out with the track Hold On I'm Coming. But if you go through it, there are just some really good stuff. And again, the players are there, Booker T and the MGs. You got Isaac Hayes is on the album on Hammond organ, Steve Cropper, Donald Dunn, Al Jackson Jr. on drums, Wayne Jackson on trombone, Don Nix on baritone sax. Love that baritone sax. Baritone sax is what we had though in this song, but losing Sam makes it all come into fruition how much more we can't let this music pass. And we definitely got to see where it takes us and continue to spread the word, because Don Nix, who was another incredible musician who was part of the sessions, he was just really influential on the sound, as was Charles Packy Axton, which was another excellent, player in all of this. But sadly, he passed away in '74 at 32 with the cirrhosis of the liver. That's crazy how that happens. How time moves. Okay, you got the alto sax player Packy Anderson. Okay, tenor saxophone player Packy Anderson playing Packy Axton. I keep calling him Anderson because I'm just so infatuated by the name Packy. But you got him, and he's passes away in '74. You got Dave, who passes away at 50, and and then you have Mr. Sam, who just passed away. So it's crazy that Sam lost some of these players on these albums, and hopefully again. Um, we can all just keep listening to it and keeping good old Sam and Dave and all of Sam's music alive, because it's not just with Sam and Dave. Sam had just a really really good musical sense, a very excellent. Um, in 2006, he released the Overnight Sensational album, which was loaded with guests by like Steve Winwood, again Mariah Carey, Robert Randolph, Paul Rogers, Billy Preston. You could see who he was friendly with. So again, keep Sam in your thoughts, and of course, just an amazing, amazing musician. Um, didn't have on my bingo card "Look Up" by Ringo Starr, to be tonight's new music that we're going to be getting to. Look Up, Ringo Starr, released on January 10th, which you're saying to yourself, I can't, what's the word I'm looking for? Believe that Ringo's got an album out. I can't believe that Ringo released the album the same day Sam passed away. I can't believe that Billy Strings, Molly Tuttle, Lucius, all Larkin Poe all appear on this new Ringo Starr album. A great, great album from everything that I've heard from it so far. The first couple singles, Turn on My Hands, Thankful, Digging Deeper, Rosetta, Billy Strings on electric guitar on that one. The leadoff track, One Breathless. These are all a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Older country track sounding songs. They're all written by T-Bone Burnett, who, if you are unfamiliar with, has just produced amazing work from the Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack, all the way to the Alison Krauss, Robert Plant album, Raising Sand. Him and himself, just an excellent musician who's just been playing for quite some time. 1980, he was definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Coming out with his own solo stuff. He was in a band called the Alpha Band. Very, very interesting. But back to the T-Bone Burnett produced Ringo Starr album. Just really good, warm vocals by Ringo. I like it because it's different. Ringo goes out on tour a lot with the Ringo Starr All-Star Band, and sometimes, I'm not saying that it's not good. What I'm saying is that sometimes it's playing some of those the all too familiar hits, which we don't mind all too familiar hits. But what we do mind is that we like a little bit of variety in our altogether excellent music, I guess you could say in some way. But again, just really interesting, this being dropped on the radar because it did not have it coming out. I didn't even really hear about it until it was a couple weeks to being released. But that's what's interesting about music sometimes, is that you can sit there and be not really prepared for something to be released. Just like I had zero inkling that My Morning Jacket had a new album coming out. In my ethos or my Soul, I felt like something was coming around the bend. Just did not know what it is, but they have a new album coming out in March. And boy, are we going to have a first take on that. First track, Time Waited. Check that out. One thing I've always loved about My Morning Jacket is they have never, never, never been shy at quote unquote letting their hair down and experimenting and giving you a little bit of something different that you wouldn't experience usually from these type of songs. But My Morning Jacket is good at that, so check that out. And we're definitely gonna keep checking back in on this, and the more they release on it, the music video from it, if you're looking online, you can see a clip from just a and if you can't tell that the guitar looks cool, the lighting looks awesome, and it's something that you should probably check out, I would definitely do that because what we got coming up next is our amazing song of the week. Sepultura, Territory. You know, that's what's really, really cool about Sepultura is that we love Sepultura here at the Hookup on Music. So Territory by Sepultura was definitely something that I wanted to dig into here this evening, and definitely wanted to share it with you because I remember hearing this song when I was 11 years old. That's what's cool about these shows is I definitely like to think back to a different time period where maybe I was listening to this stuff and it was really interesting to me. Definitely one of the band's better known songs and is played pretty much at every concert that they have played. They are wrapping up their run currently right now. But again, the music video, which takes place with the band playing and also walking through a desert, just a lot of crazy stuff in this video. Got Israeli, Palestinian, sound familiar, sound like what's going on in a war across the country. So that's what makes the video just a little bit more valid. Max Cavalera, Eagle Cavalera, Andreas Kisser, who you saw in the video playing that lead guitar, and Paulo Jr. are all part of the 4 minute and 47 track released on October 5th of 1993. Cover bands, Gojira has done a cover on their 2016 live tour promoting it for the album Magna. Between the Buried and Me have also recorded a cover for their 2006 cover album, The Anatomy of. I can understand why you'd want to cover this song because the song is awesome, starting off with a really amazing drum beat. But the lyrics, again, sound dark and sound dirty and sound downright scary. And I think when you're looking to listen to something that rules and is heavy in a downright way, you're definitely looking to do that with a track like Territory by Sepultura. Not for the soft of heart, so I definitely like playing this one super loud. It is on my playlist, which is mixed with so many different artists that you would never expect next to each other, like Billy Strings, like Phil Collins, like Sepultura, like Slayer. Just you're saying to yourself, wow, good stuff on this track. Again, once you hear that drums in the beginning played by Igor, which I always thought was an amazing name, you aren't going to be disappointed, to say the least. Being non-disappointed is kind of what we go for here. And we are also trying to look and dig into different things, and we've brought him up before. Tonight, we're going to talk about this next gentleman in a little bit of a different regard. We're going to be talking about the album Quiet Nights from 1963. and you don't even know who we're talking about yet because I haven't announced it if you do not know what that album is. And it is by the great Miles Davis, who always is game for some coolness. Now, this track I'm going to play you from right now is So What. It is not from Quiet Nights, but who's going to argue with playing some awesome Miles Davis? I just find Miles Davis to be great in any kind of weather, but when it is snowing or there is snow on the ground, you can put on some Miles Davis and definitely feel into a calming a calming world. Definitely, if you're listening to Sepultura all the time, like I have. So digging into Quiet Nights is a very interesting album because it also features Shorty Baker, Bernie Glow, Luis Mushi, and Ernie Royal on trumpets, Steve Lacy on soprano saxophone, Paul Chambers on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums, Willie Bobo on bongos. You may say, who is Willie Bongo? Willie Bobo, he is William Correa, amazing Latin jazz percussionist, which is definitely awesome. Growing up in a Puerto Rican family in Spanish Harlem, played the cuatro as 10-string guitar like instrument his father did. And so when Bobo was a little bit older, he decided that he was going to play drums. Sadly, passed away at 49. Um, but what's crazy is Bobo has a son, Eric Bobo, Eric Correa. He is the percussionist with the crew Cypress Hill, and also performed with the amazing Ill Communication by the Beastie Boys. I was just saying I know a Bobo, and that's what's crazy is that Willie Bobo, son, is the amazing Eric Bobo. But as a leader, Willie Bobo had quite a few couple albums. Juicy from the Verve album track. Check that out. A really cool album cover. But just appearing on a lot of different albums, from Herbie Hancock to Herbie Mann, to Buddy Miles to Terry Reid. Just a lot of interesting stuff there. But I hate to not be able to talk about Willie Bobo longer. But Miles Davis on this album definitely is a bringing it. But what he wanted to do for this one was keep up with standards. And they sat down with producer Tio Macero and definitely worked out what I would think would be just a really, really excellent produced album. And Miles Davis, Neverly isn't a word. Everly Brothers is, but we're not here to talk about the Everly Brothers. Neverly, though, definitely is something I think we should start using more of. But Once Upon a Summertime, track 2 is excellent. Definitely great. Also covered by the great Tony Bennett, Chet Baker, Betty Carter, just to name a few. Corcovado on the second side is a really hot jazz number. Really great tracks on this album, which is definitely something that I think you're not going to ever be shy of when you're digging into anything by Miles Davis. So take some time out and through this winter season, do not shy away from things like Miles Davis, because we're going to keep giving them to you because we enjoy that part of music. Which is definitely good with all different types of music, which, well, Miles Davis entered so many different kind of branches that it wasn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't really out of the realm for him to just do really cool stuff. So, Miles, thank you for being around, and thank you for letting me talk about Miles Davis here on the show. So let us get to our artist of the week, which is one that I'm very excited to talk about a little bit tonight. Um, Definitely an artist where I think well, is a genius like our last artist, but a different way, a different kind of genius. Which let's take a little deeper look. Zappa, Frank Zappa. How often have you sat down and listened to some Frank Zappa, the man, the myth, the legend, who sadly has been gone for, a good 30 plus years, which, again, in the world we live in the way his artistic talents are, I am just curious at what he would have been bringing to the table in so many different ways. But again, we just don't know how that really works out. But again, curious about just the overall the feeling of someone who has never heard Frank Zappa to sit there and listen to his albums and be, well, what is this? What am I listening to? Who is Frank Zappa? What does he bring to the table in most musical regards? So on and so forth. Tonight, we're going to kind of bounce around because Frank is just huge in so many regards, huge in album stature, huge in musical knowledge, huge in what he was bringing to the table on albums. Just huge, 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 huge. Um, the Yellow Shark, which was his last album, was filled with orchestral music, which was by the end of his life, because he sadly passed away way too young and left so much work on the table, which is seems to be really sad for a lot of people. And cancer seems to be something that is a growing trend in a lot of artists, and that's kind of what happened with Zappa, was that sadly he succumbed to it. But to see that he went from this rock and roll craziness on Freak Out with the Mothers of Invention, his first band, to go all the way to the Yellow Shark, where he was literally, an orchestra conductor. And honestly, if you are a fan of any type of music, to be into and ready to listen to all of that, which we are here. And all the people I've ever talked to who have listened to Frank Zappa have nothing but positivities to say. I mean, you're talking, you want to go into the classics, you just go right into the 70s. You know what I mean? 1973's Overnight Sensation, which is really, 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 really good. The next album, Apostrophe, which you see on your screen right now, loaded with great tracks. Loaded with a song called Cosmic Debris. Check out that video, check out that song, that clip, even if you're like, what is that singing? I don't know if that's something I'm into. The whole song is different, and boy, is Zappa exactly that. Apostrophe is a great album. I could play another song. The title track, Apostrophe, which is a Zappa, Jim Gordon, an amazing drummer, and Jack Bruce from Cream. It is instrumental, and it is loud and awesome. Or you could do something like Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, which comes across a little bit more like a even more sophisticated, not to say he's not, Weird Al Yankovic. But Zappa is just somebody who was always pushing boundaries and always just trying to push the whole entire, well, how far can we take this? Where are we going to go with all of this? You dig into the Apostrophe album with the Players, Ian Underwood on saxophone, a lot of horns tonight, on a lot of horns. Tom Fowler on bass guitar. Just a lot of excellent musicians in so many different ways. But when digging through more onto the whole entire Zappa catalog, there's just a lot to Zappa. Okay. If you look above me right here on the wall, right here, that's a Zappa album. And exactly, if you're listening, the Zappa album that I happen to be referencing when I just pointed up was a little bit of an album called You Are What You Is from 1981, which, if you may say to yourself, where did you ever hear this for the first time? I got to be frankly honest with you. It was Beavis and Butthead, who was, again, just an excellent, excellent excellent exposition on really great music, so to speak, to be shown to me that there was times where I only heard a 20 song clip and Beavis and Butthead maybe even made fun of it, but I'm like, I like how that sounds. This band Shudder to Think, like how this sounds. Let me go check these guys out. Let me buy this album. Try to go Circuit City and see if they even sell something as obscure as something like that. And that's what Zappa brings. He brings an obscurity to his music. And I like that because, you got time to dig through Joe's Garage's Acts 1, 2, and 3. Now a double album on CD, but, excellent, excellent. Waka Jawaka. Excellent album with great tracks like Big Swifty, which comes in at 1722. Song like Muffin Man, guitar solo, amazing. Works with great artists like Captain Beefheart. Sad, 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 sad again. We lost him too young. Please dig into some Frank Zappa too. Let us know what you think. Go through some of those albums that I've tried to mispronounce. No, Chunga's Revenge is great. Whipples, Weasels Rip My Flesh is equally great. The Hot Rats album is one that we will definitely break down at a later time. Peaches in Regalia is a great song. Willie the Pimp. If you have never listened to Willie the Pimp, oh, wow, man. I think I'm going to take off here in a few minutes and I'm going to blast Willie the Pimp. But again, Zappa's great. Zappa's awesome. Zappa has just amazing musicianship. Zappa's always been just somebody who can play the guitar like nobody else. He has jammed. There's lost footage of him jamming with people like Clapton. He went on stage with John Lennon. He's Frank Zappa, and obviously, if you haven't taken out the time to listen to his social commentary about a whole lot of things in music, you are highly missing out. It doesn't seem like you're missing out much on what we're about to talk about here for being the concerts that some of these concerts that are coming that I hate to sound that I'm going to be complaining. We all like concerts here. Don't get me wrong. I love concerts. You like concerts. Who doesn't like the concerts? We all like this. We like that. We want to know who's playing. We're excited. We want to see who is the artist of the day, who's making the trip down there, who's going to be. Well, let's start with Coachella. Okay, free passes. I live there. Of course, I'm going. I'm not going to say I'm not going to go, but I mean, you know, but I don't know. Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know if that's something that I want to sit in the desert for. But what I would sit through the desert for is Saturday night. It seems to be the Misfits, the original Misfits are together and they're playing Coachella. You got to tell me that's mind blowing. But, a quick look to see just what's the word I'm looking for? An all around, what are you going to get here? How much is this? Ooh, geez. To get the shuttle, $729. Hate to be someone who complains about money, but I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Missy Elliott. I don't know. I could be wrong about this. I might not be. I might be out of the loop with some of these artists. Don't get me wrong. I love Kraftwerk, so I would check them out Sunday. But Lady Gaga, I check her out too. I think she's an excellent musician. I think it's just more of the whole entire pricing versus maybe this or that. But I understand why you got to do that. There's insurance, there's this. But what I don't understand, and this is my main grievance of this week, isn't Coachella. That's always going to go on. Is this festival right here that just got announced? Let's take a look at some of these artists. There's a Saturday and Sunday. Now, granted, it is in Portage, Indiana. I understand that. Stone Temple Pilots, I love them. Fuel's okay. Lit, Theory of a Dead Man, Story of the Year, Hoobastank. If you look a little closer, okay, it's $80 a day. It's over $145 for 2 days of these guys. Are you kidding? I'm going to save my money, and I'm going to get more excited to see something a little bit more better, I think, as the music season comes along. Like just announced, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Concert, which is always what we are looking for here at the Hookup on Music. The Los Lonely Boys are coming to town with Los Lobos. And you may saying, where? April 12th, Saturday. I think I might be going down in Gary, Indiana. Los Lobos. We love Los Lobos here. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows we love Los Lobos. They love Los Lobos. They love Los Lobos. We know we love Los Lobos. And we're excited to see what that concert's going to bring to the table. So please be looking out for us at Los Lobos. I'm sure we're going to be talking about the concert here. As always, we want to thank you for coming and joining our show here, the Hookup on Music. It is always a great time to have you listen to music with us. If you have not yet, please go check out our most recent two, our mini at the show episode, which was about some really awesome movie news. And then last night we talked about some twists and turn movies with also some good soundtracks. The soundtrack I talked about last night was The Big Chill.
I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me.
Excellent soundtrack with excellent music by some of my favorite artists. Ain't Too Proud to Beg by the Temptations is a close to perfect song, as is that soundtrack close to perfect. Check out this week on Tuesday. We're going to be drafting artists for a perfect band on It's Getting Drafty in here on Tuesday night. That's going to be very exciting. Check out what we got coming up next week. Check out the At the Show. We'll be back again next week with more goodies. Check out the Sadistic Penguin Studios. Check out the articles that could and should and would be dropping soon. Check out that new Ringo Starr show.
Since you left for another coast, I've been haunted by.
That's that Rosetta I was telling you about. You're definitely not going to want to miss out on checking that album out. But please, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Any support that you can give, please leave comments in the comment section. Hit the like and subscribe button. Please tell your friends if you would ever like to come on and join myself. Let me know. It would be great to talk to music about you, talk to you about music, talk to you with music. Any of what I just said makes sense. Please look out and remember to do that. So I am Tony B. This is the Hookup on Music, and we will be talking again soon. Take care, everyone out there. Good night.
Thank you for listening. Please look out for the audio version wherever you jam.